Alright, what's going on, dudes? I hope you're all having a lovely end of the world, and welcome back to Minecraft. That too. So, a little while back on Modded Survival, you may recall me mentioning how much I love bats. Actually, I've mentioned that on far more than one occasion, but I also mentioned how I thought it would be really cool if you could tame them and make them your pets, and sure enough, lots of you informed me that that does exist as a mod. So that's what we'll be looking at today, is the Pet Bats mod. So let's get started. When you load up a world with it installed, you get this book. It's an instruction manual on how the mod works. I'll take a pass on reading it just because I'll be demonstrating everything anyway. So, we'll spawn a few bats. I spawned a few, but they all seem to have left the area, so we'll just get a few more. And what happens is that you can slap the ground with pumpkin pie, and sure enough, these bats are now attracted to, I don't know if it's the sound or the smell, but sure enough, they like something about us punching the ground with pumpkin pie. And sure enough, I've killed many a bat in doing this because they fly too close, so I punch them and like that. So sorry about that. Anyway, I'm gonna go in here and actually spawn a few more now because your hand-eye coordination has to be on point with this mod, because you have to actually left and right click these guys as they're flying around, so figured I'd make it a little easier on myself, and we'll just spawn a few in here in the hopes that it'll increase our chances at being able to click them easier. So, with our pumpkin pie in hand, if we right click a bat, he gets a name, and sure enough, now he's our pet, he's our friend, and he'll follow us around. Let's try to get the other two. Ugh. There we go. We have Darkwing, and Caesar, and Mercia. Woo! That was actually a lot easier doing this inside of the enclosed area. So, anyway, now what we can do is if we punch our pet bats, I know it sounds bad, but they won't actually die. They just turn into inventory items. The hitbox is kind of generous on them when you're left-clicking to try to turn them into inventory items. Still, it can be a bit tricky out in the open. So, when you actually are holding one of your pet bats in hand, it gives you a little night vision perk, and that will keep refreshing over and over. So let's actually set the time to night, and we'll just be able to demonstrate. We'll actually add 1,000, and that'll make it pitch dark out. So anyway, you see that you got the night vision perk going on there. It's kind of stroby and a bit annoying, but you can see the difference when I go off and when I have it back on again. Anyway, I'll set the time back to day and head on back in here. And now if we right click while holding one of the bats that's in our inventory, it'll bring up the quote-unquote human bat interface. Here we can rename them. So, to stay in the spirit of survival, we'll call you Barry, and we'll call you Larry, and didn't mean to hit that key, and we'll call you Harry. All right. So we have Jerry, Harry, Barry, and Larry. How wonderful. Anyway, you'll also notice in this interface that all our bats as of right now, because we just tamed them, they're all level 0. They have no experience and they require 25 more to level up. So that means, of course, yes, you can level these guys up, and that'll add health points, and it'll also add attack damage to them. So that leads into the next point, which is, of course, that these guys can help you fight off bad guys. So let's put down some spiders here. Just a few. And now, the way you actually resummon your bats is by simply dropping them. So dropping each one, we'll let it fly free again. We have Larry, Barry. I don't know where Harry went, but we'll soon find out, because once I hit one of these guys, our bats will come to the rescue. So let me punch a spider, and sure enough, there we go. We got a swarm of bats now attacking the spider, and well, eventually he'll die. There we go. Yeah, good job, guys. Awesome job. You're great. All right, let's take out a few more. Let's take out all the spiders. Yeah. More difficult than the grass, but you know. Anyway, there we go. We're attacking another. Gonna take him out. Sweet. So even at level 1, they're pretty powerful. Now, if we can left click one, oh, come on, oh, it's so difficult. There we go. Okay, I think we hit Harry. Alright, so now you'll notice that because Harry has been in some fights, he now has his durability bar reduced a bit, or I should say his health bar, as it applies to our bats. If we right-click on him, he has 75% health, but he's also collected 7 experience from fighting off those couple of spiders. So sure enough, it takes a little while to level him up, so I'm not exactly within the span of this video going to be able to take him up to, say, like level 5 or even level 2 for that matter. But sure enough, you get the idea that as you kill mobs with these guys, they will level up, and when they do level up, they get more health, and they get more damage for their attacks. Alright, so I spent a little bit of time fighting off some spiders with our bats here, and sure enough, Larry did the most damage, so he collected the most experience, and now, instead of being a level 0, he's a level 1 brawler pet bat, so he's kind of a badass. Just throwing that out there. He has 47 experience now, and in order to level up once again, he needs 28 more. You'll notice that his health went from 16 to 18, and his attack power doubled from 1 to 2. So now he's pretty much twice as effective at attacking as the other two here, Barry and Harry. Nothing against the two, it's just that Larry has triumphed over everyone. So at this point, after all that fighting, our bats are a little battle-worn. In fact, I spawned a Wither and put Larry up against it simply for the purpose of having him pass away temporarily. So there are a couple ways that you can regen your bat's health. So the first is if they're actually completely dead, you'll see what happens is when you go to deploy it, it just stays in item form. So the way that you can fix your bat if it's in that dead state is you can add some pumpkin pie to it in a crafting table, and then once again you have a fed pet bat, and you can deploy him, and I'm assuming this is a bug, but it renames him to I was cheated, even though he wasn't really, interestingly enough. Now, unfortunately, doing this also resets the bat's statistics, levels, everything related to that. So, little bug right there. Hopefully that can be adjusted soon, because unfortunately you can't feed the bats the way I'm about to show you when they are dead. So, anyway, here's the other way you can feed bats. So our Mr. Harry here, he has 10 out of 16 health. If I set him on down and throw down a piece of pumpkin pie, he'll actually go on the ground and eat it up. And now, there we go. You'll notice that he's fully regenerated. So for the time being, best plan of attack is probably just to not let your bats die entirely, and that way you don't have to deal with recrafting them and re-leveling them, so on and so forth. But hopefully, again, that'll be fixed soon enough. Finally, if you do happen to get your bats up to level 3 and above, they actually get a lifesteal skill, so that when they attack, they will actually gain health themselves, and it just makes them a bit more survivable. So anyway, that's about it for this mod. I'm probably going to add it into our modded survival because I think it's quite wonderful and I like the bats. And anyway, if you've enjoyed, a rating would be much appreciated. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.